All right, we're working on a 6-liter Ford today. This is a 2006. Um, Someone did the injectors on it. And then left halfway through the job. Um, so they got it put back together, but it wasn't running right. When I got it, there were some sensors that were unplugged. Got those plugged back together, and it was kind of sort of running. And the guy drove it like that for a while, and then a month later, it died in the yard, in his buddy's yard, his brother's yard. So, um, after doing some troubleshooting, I ran into a great uh, YouTuber, Diesel Tech Ron, I believe his name is. I'll include a link below that has a ton of good information on troubleshooting 6-liter no start situations. This one, I didn't really see him or anybody else talk about, so I'm going to go through the process of what I did to check this out. First thing I did was I checked the fuel injection control module, which is that big metal guy right in there behind the degas bottle. I checked that with my scanner. It was putting out 48 volts, so I knew that was good, and it was syncing with the computer, the main computer. So I knew the FICM was in good shape. So the next thing I did was I pulled out the injector pressure regulator check valve. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I got the right words for it, which is located uh, underneath the turbo in the back on the driver's side. Right in through there. You can't see it because it's buried. In order to get to it, you need to be able to pull out your intake system, swing your degas bottle to the side, loop this over to that so the degas bottle doesn't leak. Get that hose out of the way. All this needs to go, and then you need to remove your fuel injection control module and get that out of the way. Unplug that, unplug your back 3 injectors, making sure you hold on to the clips because they're not magnetic. You don't want to lose them. And then you have room to take the heat shield off, which is attached to there, and lubricate your hand with whatever oil you have nearby so you can get it back out after you shove it in there to pull the clip and the insulation off of the injector pressure regulator. Lots of videos about doing that, so I'm not going to get into it. So the injector pressure regulator on this one was filthy dirty. So I took the screen off, cleaned it out like you see in a lot of the other videos, put it back in. The problem that I had, and the reason I tuned into the injector pressure regulator, was because with the key on and trying to crank it, it was demanding 1,000 to 1,100 psi of pressure, injection pressure, and it was receiving zero, nothing. Didn't move up at all. And then occasionally, maybe 5% of the time, it would start, which was kind of goofy. So I cleaned out the injection pressure regulator, had oil and random bits of crud in it, and put that back together, and did the same test again with my scanner. And I was still getting zero. So I knew either the injection pressure regulator was bad or there was another problem. I also was suspecting that this guy right here, the orange, and get my head and the phone out of the way, the orange and shiny piece, that's the injection control pressure sensor, so the ICP sensor. When I was looking at that, it had a low voltage. Typically they run around 0.23 to 0.25 volts, and this one was, when you do a key on, engine off, it was at about 0.11. So it seemed pretty low, which was kind of a red flag. So I went to Ford, I got an ICP sensor and an IPR check valve, and I came back here. I pulled the ICP sensor out, which is this guy. I'm going to see if I can, yeah, I don't know if I can focus on that or not. The sun Anyways, I don't know if you can see it, but it's wet in there. It's got oil on the connection side. So there's a little bladder that's inside of this, kind of like a diaphragm, and if that bursts, it allows oil through, and then it contaminates your readings with the resistance and everything else. I suspect, I don't know for sure, I've never taken one of these apart, but that's my guess. But from what I found, if you see oil in here, you're going to be getting false readings to your computer. So I changed this out, and it has started every time for the last 6 times. Perfect. The injection pressure just came right up to 1,000 to start with, and then settled back down. The IPR, instead of starting at 14.8 and then 14.8% closed and then going to 85% closed, it stayed around 37% to keep the injection pressure where it needs to be. So if you're getting 0 psi on your injection pressure, look at your injection control pressure sensor. That's probably it. So, and just to show you what this thing sounds like, yep, it's done. Okay. This thing's got all sorts of issues. The gauges don't read half the time, and it's a construction truck. That's what happens. Fires right up now. Problem solved. Idle's nice and smooth. Does what it's supposed to do. I had like 23 codes on this thing and some change when I first scanned it for codes. The only 2 that are left are number 5 glow plug and the communication with the dashboard, which if the customer wants, we can go get into it and fix that. But so there you go. If you run into a situation where your injection pressure is not coming up past 0, look at that ICP sensor on the right front valve cover, and you might need to replace that. If it's wet or has low voltage, that is going to be the ticket. Hope this helps you guys. This is really my first getting into messing with the 6-liter injection system and troubleshooting it. I learned a ton. Give that Diesel Tech Ron guy, I know he passed away, but he has a ton of useful information. If you've got a 6-liter, pour through all those videos. Another good one is Diesel Tech Macaluco, I think his name. He's got some good stuff that I've pulled from on occasion with various problems. So yeah, 6 liters. I got a ton of sensors. I don't know, I kind of prefer my old 7.3s. Tons of power though, good stuff. All right, thanks guys. Hope you have a great day. And if you like seeing videos like this with a little bit of tech here and there, comment below, give a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting more Bronco stuff, more of the paint shaker, that 82 International, as I have time to work on them. And I just pulled my 85 Ford L9000 semi-truck up to try and finish the transmission install on that. If that's stuff that you guys are interested in, comment below, send a like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for everything you guys do, and have a great day.